Alright, now I'm going to tell you one tip about this so you don't ruin a gun. Make sure when you get the gun that this screw right here is loose, because if you don't, it will completely strip. And when I say strip, I mean strip this this barrel that comes with it. And I'll show you once I get this screw undone how bad it truly strips it. There it goes. Well, actually this is the new barrel, so I can't show you, but I'll show you the threads that comes off. Actually, I did it, even though I knew about it beforehand, I actually accidentally did it at the very beginning of this one too, and about ruined it again. But see, these threads right here are the ones that will mess up, and find it here. See, I accidentally stripped it just a little bit at the very beginning there, but that, if you tighten that one down, or if you leave it as is, that will be the whole thing, and no matter what, you will not be able to screw it in. Alright, now to the new part, the hop-up system. This is where my new stuff has came in, and I don't know how it works. The cylinders work great. It's put a lot of power in, or it's put a lot of range onto it without putting a lot of FPS onto it. But you just gotta loosen these two screws up until they come out. There we go. And you also gotta unscrew this. Alright, there we go. And then you just kind of pull this out gently. Now this is a actual VSR. This was my original hop-up upgrade. It's a true VSR 433mm 6.10 barrel that I got. I believe it was Angel Custom also. I'm not sure about that one though. But a lot of problems that a lot of VSRs have is this little thing right here tends to wobble a lot. So what I did was I actually got just a little sheet of metal that had holes in it, and I kind of just cut it with some metal cutters, and I just made this just pretty much straight, and it's curved right at the end. That way it just gives a little bit of push to it, and it'll be a little bit more consistent than what it is now. Now this is the new hop-up system that I have. Actually a little bit lighter now. I've noticed now that I've picked both of them up. But let me go ahead and get this part taken out. There we go. You also, in order to remove the second part of it, you will need to loosen this up. There it goes, and it should just come right out. Now that little thing right there, most of y'all's is black, but I actually got the one from Danger Works, from Airsoft GI, and it seems to be a little bit more consistent as far as pressure. But like I said, this hop-up this is actually how it came, with all these scuffs and stuff on it. That's why I went ahead and got me a new one, because that's kind of terrible. But I got this actual VSR from Airsoft Megastore. Okay. Now as far as there we go. As far as this Danger Works, there's two types. One type is this little double prong type. This is used for when you actually have a hop-up. This is not the right hop-up. This is the new hop-up here, or bucking, I mean. That has a nub just like an AEG does. Just that single nub, kind of like that one. You probably can't tell, but it's just a straight nub. Now the other type bucking is a straight nub, or straight. That little thing right there is straight instead of just two prongs. And that's for when you actually have bucking that has the nub split. That has that little, it's called a V nub, I believe. Alright, let's remove that here. Alright, now let's get into the new system here. Now I've not taken this apart or I've done anything to it, so this part might actually take a little bit longer, but you get to see firsthand how to do this. And I'm sure some of y'all have, and I'm probably not the best VSR mechanic or whatever you consider it, or tech I guess you'd say, but after the hours I put into this thing, I have loved every minute of it, so I can't really say too much. Alright, let me also remove this little piece right here. Okay, now as far as this goes, now this VSR barrel I'm not actually going to use, even though I like it. The reason why is because this new hop up from Angel Custom takes AEG barrels. So I got this Mad Bull barrel that is a lot of fun, or it's, from what I've heard, is a lot of fun, and I'm going to actually use this one instead. Now I just got to figure out how to put this on and everything. So there's a little slot that you actually have to slide this in, or else it doesn't work. Alright, I think it's all the way on now. It's hard to tell now, but if it can't withstand all that, then it probably shouldn't be using it. Okay, the easy way of telling if it actually is level or not is if you can take your hop up arm here, find out where it goes, which it means it would go to here, and see if it actually would press up against the little gap there, which it does. So it looks like that works very well. Alright, now you also need this little piece, because this tiny little piece don't seem like a whole lot, but it does a lot. This actually feeds it up into the hop up system. So and sorry about the whole looking up and everything. I got my video camera on the top of my head, so alright, where's that piece at? There it is. There should be, here, I gotta line it. This right, actually, the easiest thing to do, make sure that catch stays in, just kind of find a little Allen key or screwdriver or whatever you can find, and just kind of put it right through the barrel. Someone showed me that on a video. I think I don't remember who it was, but I kind of been doing it ever since because it's kind of easy. But you got to make sure this little bucking here, or this little lever there, stays and goes through here, that little area. And there it goes. This is the most sensitive part of the whole gun. If you can't do this right, then it'll mess up everything. And this has to go all the way down, and this has to be tight all the way across, because if it doesn't, then it actually will not latch down in the gun, and you will not be able to put this little piece back on. So be able to make sure you're able to actually screw this in and it be tight all the way around, or else it will just, you'll have a fit trying to put it back on. Alright, where's that other piece at? Now you don't want to tighten this up too much when you're putting it back, because you still got to put the little arm, the adjustment arm on it. So it seemed to work pretty well actually. Most of the time I have a lot of trouble with that. So, oop, wrong way. Alright, first one is this right here. And don't try to push it on there too hard, because actually, I'm about to forget something very important. There's a little tiny little O-ring on here that that slides along with the adjustment arm, and if you don't have it on there, it makes it very hard to move that adjustment arm. So now I got that on there. Where was it? There it is. Get that on there. Put the black part in first, and then just, it should clip right on just like that. And get that little O-ring in there. There it goes. And then make sure this is on right. This is actually where your hop-up arm goes into. Okay, well, I guess that comes off. Maybe, okay, maybe this other one comes off too. Okay. Yeah, okay. Now I need the 2 screws here to put back into this. Now you don't want to tighten this up too much, because if you do, it'll be very hard to adjust it, and you don't want that, because you'll end up actually stripping that little thing right there like I did at the beginning. And if you do that, the easiest thing to do to fix that is just find a tiny little bit of super glue. That's what I used, was super glue, and just let it get onto the little screw that you have on there. Just kind of get in there. When you think it's almost dry, don't let it dry completely. When you let it's almost dry, just kind of screw it in and out until it dries. That way, it seemed to work very well with me. So. I definitely gonna need that back on there, saying that this thing's liking to move all over the place. Oh, there it goes. That was weird. Alright. Well, I'll have to make me a new one of that little metal piece, because it don't seem to want to fit on there. But as far as this goes, I'll go ahead and put it back on there. On the, actually, that's not even the right screw. Where's it at? Is this it? Yeah. And you don't want to screw anything down too hard. Once you kind of get to it, you don't want to mess anything up. So, and you want to try to test to see if it'll go back and forth well, and see if that harp up arm actually moves back and forth. Alright, and it does, so that's good. What I want to do here is I'm going to kind of cheat a little bit and find out where it goes right here. See, this is the old one, which is very heavy, versus this. But what I'm going to do is, these are handmade spacers, or homemade spacers, I guess you could call it. And you got to make sure they're just right, because it's a tapered barrel, which means that the barrel towards the cylinder of the gun is much bigger than the barrel at the end, or the barrel diameter at the end. So I got to make sure this is off by a little bit.